Hey kids, it's the Mr. Fly here, hope you're well. Out and about on another bike review today, somewhere exotic, on something, well, not quite so exotic. This is the Tiger 800 XCA. Stick around, stay tuned, I'll tell you what I think of it. Okay, so to start with, I guess I should give you a bit of an explanation as to where I am, because this doesn't look much like Great Missenden, does it? I'm actually riding this in Thailand. I'm out on a bike tour. Well, I've been riding this, the Triumph Tiger 800 XCA. So I thought it was a great opportunity to do a first impressions review of the bike, even though I've actually been riding this for a few days, so I've got to know it relatively well. But I'll do this review in the usual way and let you know what I think of it. I have ridden Tiger 800s quite a bit in the past, but never this one, the XCA being the more off-road focused bike. So the first thing I always think about when I ride a bike is, what's the comfort like? Well, the Tiger 800 has a very familiar riding position to me. It feels very much like the GS, which I'm very familiar with. That's a bike that I own. In terms of the seating position, your hands are out quite wide. Where the foot pegs are, your legs are at a slightly acute angle, but not very much. You are basically sat upright. Very comfortable place to be, and you can definitely ride it all day long, because I've done so on this bike a number of times. The only slight down on comfort is perhaps the seat's a little bit harder than I'm used to, but it's not a big deal, and it's certainly not a deal breaker. Now, I have been riding this bike with a pillion on board most of the time, although I haven't got her on at the moment, and she has said that she's found the seat quite uncomfortable for a pillion, so something just to bear in mind. But as I say, as the rider, I've not found the seat to be uncomfortable at all. The engine on this, of course, is the 800cc triple unit. Triumph is so good at making triples, and it's a very familiar engine to me. I also own a Triumph Street Triple that has essentially the same engine, albeit this 800cc version has been bought out to give it the extra power. It's got a very distinctive whistle about it, and it goes really nicely in this bike as well. Solo and 2 up, there is no lack of power on this machine. Okay, I don't really know where I am, so I'm having to concentrate a bit on the directions here. Luckily I've got Google Maps on my phone, as you can see at the front, so hopefully I'll be able to work out what I'm doing. The good news here in Thailand is they ride on the left, so at least I haven't got that bit of alienness to get used to. Although it has to be said, some of the driving is a little bit interesting here. Everybody's waiting for everybody else. So you're gonna wait for me? Thank you. He is now. Cheers. So I'm just riding a little route here up towards a restaurant in the mountains that I can do a walk around and show you the bike on. And it's a good opportunity to try the bike on different roads. Clutch on it is lovely and light. Handling on the bike I've got used to now. Took me a little bit of getting used to. I think the geometry of the bike is slightly different to bikes I normally ride, but it only took me literally 20 minutes of riding to get used to it, and actually the handling is lovely, nice and light. The bike feels nice and light. Gearbox is nice and smooth. I've had no issues with things like false neutrals or finding neutral or getting into first, anything like that. Lovely gearbox on here. I assume it's the same gearbox as on the Street Triple, albeit with different ratios. Suspension on this, I would say, is in that Goldilocks zone. It's not too soft, not too hard. It handles nicely, as I say, but you're not feeling like your fillings are being jarred out, nor is it all wallowy, either 1 up or 2 up. Yeah, since I've been riding this, the bike has really grown on me, actually. It's a nice place to be. I thought I was going to feel it was a little bit underpowered, given I'm used to riding bikes with bigger horsepower and bigger engines, but actually at no point have I felt this bike is struggling. Just check out these views here, absolutely amazing. I'm recording this in November and it's 31 degrees at the moment. How nice is that? But what you don't want to be doing is being sat at traffic lights for any length of time, because boy, it gets warm. This bike is fitted with Trump's sort of first generation, I call it, TFT screen. does everything you want, although I'm not a massive fan of that TFT, I have to say. It just looks a little bit noddy to me, a little bit toy-like compared to some of the other machines that are on the market. But it has everything you want, including a proper fuel gauge on the left there. I've got this in the twisty riding mode at the moment, the track mode, just to give it a bit extra poke. But to be honest, I don't find that the riding modes make that much difference on the bike. Maybe I'm just insensitive to that sort of thing. Alrighty, if my Google Maps is to be believed, just up here on the left should be a restaurant with a decent bit of parking that I can do a walk around and show you the bike in the usual way and talk you through the spec. And what a location to do that in, eh? A bike review amongst the palm trees, why not? Yeah, I think this rates as the most exotic point I've ever done a bike reviewing. Right, let's just leave it here, not too much on the gravel. There's some bike parking over there, but I'll leave it here, this'll do. Okay, here she is then, the Triumph Tiger XCA, the Tiger 800 XCA I should say. This particular bike, as you see, has got the full luggage on it. Other than that, I think it's a standard bike. I found the windscreen to be excellent on this, by the way. No problems with buffeting, turbulent air, that sort of thing. Really, really nice. Anyway, what I'll do in the usual way is get my other camera out and I'll show you around the bike and talk you through the spec in the usual way. So here she is then, the Triumph Tiger 800 XCA. As I say, I've ridden the Tiger 800 a few times. I first rode the XRT back in 2016 and I borrowed an 800 XRX in 2017, so two of the versions I rode, and then I was lucky enough to borrow an XRT in 2018 for a couple of weeks, so really got to know the bike then. So as I say, first time I've ridden this version though, the XCA, the off-road focused version, which I think looks better actually, mainly because of this beak on the front here. I just think that adds to the overall appeal of the machine. It just looks a better bike with that beak, so if I were to buy one of these I'd probably go for the XCA for that version, for that reason rather. In terms of spec, it's a 800cc triple engine derived from the old 675cc Triumph Street triple engine. There we go. Puts out 94 brake horsepower at 9,500 RPM, 79 newton meters of torque at 8,050 RPM. Never feels like it's out of any power, as I say. The brakes on the front, twin 305mm floating discs on here with Brembo 2-pot calipers, as you can see, and they work really well. On the rear we've got a single 225mm disc, we can just about see it under there, together with the ABS ring, and we can see the Nissin brake caliper there as well. Suspension wise, this has WP suspension. If I come around, in fact let's look at the front first, here we go. WP upside down forks, 43mm diameter on the front here, with adjustable rebound and compression damping, 220mm of travel. On the rear we've got a WP monoshock, and there you can see the little gas cylinder for it. Can't actually get in there and show you the suspension itself, it's well tucked away, but works really, really well. Hydraulically adjustable preload, 215mm rear travel on that. Seat height on here is a very comfortable 840mm, works for me as a shorty. If you're a bit taller you can adjust it to 860. Weight wise, 208 kilograms dry, so not a lightweight bike but not heavy as far as big adventure bikes go for sure. Tank capacity 19 litres, so reasonable size, not massive, but again I've not been finding it an issue on this. Fuel economy seems okay, although I couldn't give you a miles per gallon figure because I haven't been working it out, to be honest. Electronics wise, it's got the TFT display, as I said, 6 rider modes including off-road and off-road pro, and there's also a rider customizable mode as well. Price wise, according to the website in the UK, from £12,700. Top spec one and most expensive of all the Tiger 800s, this one is. The XR, the bottom end of the range if you like, is from 9,200, so big range of prices there. But as I say, if I had the money and I wanted another adventure bike, this is the version I would go for. In terms of colours, it's available in this matte green, a white, or a Barjar orange. So yeah, there we go, that's the spec of the bike. I have to say, it surprised me. I've really gelled with this one more than I thought. As I say, I've been riding it mostly two up with the pillion, my wife on the back, on this tour here in Thailand, and yeah, it's really impressed me. All right, let's jump back on, ride us some more. Right, I'll try and find my way home now. Let's get a bit of airflow going. Don't let it be said that I didn't try the bike off-road. I know it's daft, but standing up on it, it's very, very balanced indeed, but nice and slow, and you're right in that sweet spot. So if you do want to take your adventure bike off-road, it can be done on one of these, much easier than some of the bigger bikes for sure. Okay, not too sure what direction to go. Let's head down this way. That works. Might as well try and do a bit of a loop if I can. Smells absolutely glorious here. You'll have to take my word for that. Yeah, nice and agile in traffic as well. This would make a brilliant commuter, as well as a bike just to have fun on. Now, I think I need to turn around basically here. I'm not sure if I can do a U-turn here or not, but I'm going to go for it. Or actually, I want to go right, I think. Let's see. I'm not too sure how Google Maps works. Let's go right here and see what happens. Yeah, that'll do. Right, let's just get past this pickup. And there is that glorious sound of this triple engine. We'll just pull over here and just try the brakes. Front brake. Yeah, front brake is really good. Not too much fork dive on here either, which I quite like. And on these hot, sticky roads, the handling is absolutely brilliant on these OEM tyres. Just try the back brake. Yeah, that works all right as well, actually. So yeah, as you can tell, I'm quite a fan of the Tiger 800 generally. And if I was in the market to get another adventure bike, this would very much seriously be in consideration, because it's lightweight, it's very endearing, it's very easy to ride, there's nothing about it that's intimidating. You can get your feet on the deck, as you can see, you can chuck it around the roads. It's a great fun place to be. Like it a lot. So I must just say thank you very much indeed to the local Triumph dealer here in Krabi in Thailand. Thank you to Triumph UK for making this review possible. They did the liaison and got me the bike, so thank you to those guys, and thanks to you as ever for watching. Hope you found that of interest. Look forward to speaking to you again soon. Until then, this has been the Mr. Flyer. Cheerio.